Yesterday, the Oklahoma Supreme Court handed State Farm a massive procedural victory in that litigation that's going on out there about the Hale Initiative. But if Bloomington thinks that this is sort of over, well, they've completely read the room wrong. The Attorney General Drummond has already summoned that he's getting ready to file a secondary lawsuit. He was just kind of hoping that discovery could just be done at the same time as the other case was going on. So grab your coffee. We need to talk about what happened yesterday because this ruling is going to have some effects. It's drawing sort of a definitive line on how we're going to litigate, whether it's a systemic abuse of claims, insurance, et cetera, and then what's going to happen maybe even in some other states. I know exactly how right now corporate is sort of pushing this message down to the field adjusters, how severity metrics are managed, and what happened in Oklahoma may just be a masterclass in corporate legal defense. But the fallout, it's going to affect all of us in the industry for a very, very long time, at least years to come. So, first, I want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. If you haven't been following this case, here's the anatomy of kind of how this massive blowup happened. It all kind of started small. A private standard roof claim dispute in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, Hursh versus State Farm. A local couple had wind and hail damage. State Farm had denied or heavily slashed the payout. Does that sound familiar to us in auto? And the policyholder did what thousands of people do every year. They sued for breach of contract in bad faith. But then the Oklahoma Attorney General, Drummond, looked at the case and said, hey, wait a minute. This isn't just a bad claim adjustment. There's a pattern here. The AG moved to intervene directly in a private citizen lawsuit. He used the heavy machinery of the Oklahoma Consumer Protection Act and RICO laws to turn a single roof dispute into a sweeping macro level enforcement action. And his target? Well, it was corporate strategy. The AG office called it the Hale Focus Initiative. The state alleges that State Farm engineered a highly coordinated from the top down program to secretly use extra contractual standards to arbitrarily slash, delay, or deny wind and hail payouts across the state of Oklahoma. All of it to hit their financial targets. State Farm knew they were in a corner, so they bypassed fighting the actual facts of the hail claims at this stage, and they went straight to the structural or constitutional nuclear option. That brings us to yesterday. The Oklahoma Supreme Court issued a writ of prohibition against District Judge Amy Palumbo, effectively pulling the plug on the AG's intervention and kicking him completely out of the case so far. Now, let's be crystal clear about something. The Supreme Court did not say State Farm was innocent. They didn't rule on whether the Hale Focus Initiative exists, it's real, whether it's legal, none of that. What they said was that the Attorney General used the wrong legal vehicle to drive down the highway in this case. It all came down to two major things: separation of powers and procedural boundaries. First, State Farm argued under the Oklahoma Constitution, the regulation and enforcement of the insurance industry belongs exclusively to the insurance commissioner, not the Attorney General. The Supreme Court agreed. They ruled that letting the AG hijack private litigation as a dual regulator violates the separation of powers. Second, the court ruled that the state cannot simply declare a public interest in a private citizen's breach of contract suit to suddenly expand into a statewide monster case seeking millions and millions of dollars in civil penalties and restitution for all the non-parties. So here's the ultimate twist in this ruling. Insurance Commissioner Mulready had actually written a formal letter inviting the Attorney General to cooperate and look into this. But the Supreme Court explicitly said that executive cooperation cannot override constitutional boundaries. The AG simply does not have the standalone statutory authority to insert himself into a private civil court case this way. That's it, period. Supreme Court said it's over. So let's talk about why State Farm fought so brutally hard to get this writ. Now, as a former claims person, I can tell you exactly what Bloomington was terrified of. It's called discovery. When the AG intervened, he brought the massive subpoena power of the state of Oklahoma with him. He was on track to force a massive public dump of State Farm's internal training manuals, severity metrics, regional performance evaluations, and all internal communications regarding how claims were being managed and how the numbers were rolling up. When you're inside a carrier, You know that the numbers rule everything. Severity targets, leakage goals, they're tracked meticulously. If the state got their hands on some of that documentation, or even the emails going back and forth between claims managers and adjusters, proving how pressure was being applied to hit some arbitrary financial targets at the expense of policy language, well, it's game over then. By winning this ruling yesterday, State Farm slammed the vault door shut for now. But it also completely dismantles the immediate strategy for the plaintiff's bar. Law firms like Written and Barrage are handling hundreds of these parallel held cases across Oklahoma. They can no longer rely on the state's heavy machinery to pull a silver bullet out of the discovery file that they could use to just win all of these cases at once. They are officially pushed back into fighting these claims one at a time, file by file, claim by claim, in standard district court discovery. And that slows everything way down. But if you think the attorney general is going to pack up his bags and go home, well, then you don't know how this guy operates. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, we saw him weighing in on football in the Big 12 and everything that was going on with Texas Tech. So during the oral arguments, the Oklahoma AG laid their cards face up on the table right in front of the Supreme Court justices. They specifically told them, look, if you issue this writ and you block our intervention, fine. We're just going to turn around and file a standalone lawsuit of independent enforcement action against State Farm. But filing a brand new dedicated lawsuit gives the AG changes to the entire playing field. First, he completely bypasses the procedural hurdle that tripped him up yesterday. He won't be accused of hijacking a private citizen's roof claim anymore. Second, the state of Oklahoma becomes the primary plaintiff from day one, not Hursh. So he can still go after them under Oklahoma's consumer protection and RICOs, and he can still have massive civil penalties, structural reforms, and statewide restitution for policyholders across all 77 counties of Oklahoma. So make no mistake, State Farm's legal team is already prepping for their counterattack when that file hits the clerk's desk. They will use the exact same separation of power argument and try to throw out the standalone suit, arguing that only the insurance commissioner can touch them. The battle lines are being drawn. Here's the big takeaway for the collision and claims industry. This ruling is a procedural roadblock, but the war over who regulates systemic claims abuses is reaching a boiling point. Whether it's auto body repair procedures, ADAS calibrations, or homeowners hail claims, the tension between state attorney generals, insurance commissioners, and insurance companies is real. And we have legal teams on insurance companies trying to maintain protection under a fragmented system of 50-something different rules and regulations and powers. Now, Drummond says he's going to follow the smoke until he finds the fire. Yesterday, State Farm took a shortcut, but there's still a fire and there's still a match. Most importantly, I think as this goes forward, we're going to see more and more of a case be made for why the state regulation of insurance is probably reached its limit. Insurance has changed. Claims departments aren't located inside the states anymore where claims are being handled. It's time that insurance be brought under federal regulation. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you think the Attorney General in Oklahoma is going to do next, or what do you think he should do? And if you want to make sure that you're following this story and you never miss out, make sure you hit the subscribe button because we're bringing you the news every week here on Collision Coffee Talk. Thanks.